Hello everyone, this is Ayush Kataria and welcome to my YouTube channel AK Talk Sport. Today we'll be talking about the World Test Championship final. I know the video is a bit late. Of course, the match ended on 23rd June. It's been 2 weeks, but I really wanted to do this, but I did not have the channel then. And since I've started doing this, the football has been so busy, so many matches, the quarterfinals, semi-finals of Euros. So I thought that was more important at that time. But finally, between the gap between the semi-final and finals, I found time to do this. And yeah, I really wanted to do this because it was such a huge match. Some people called it the biggest test match ever. That's how they were marketing it also. I wouldn't go as far as saying that because the test championship is a new idea, a new tournament. It's not an established thing like the World Cup or the even the T20 World Cup. You know that is here to stay. You don't know what the future of the Test Championship is. You don't know how long this tournament will last. So I think we'll have to wait and see how important the Test Championship, as far as history is concerned, turns out to be. And Test cricket has such a rich history. Of course, more than 100 years, so much context behind it. It's very disrespectful to call this game the biggest ever because the sport, the format has been through so much, so many important games, so many milestones, so many landmarks, so many great players, um, legends of the game who have not played when the Test champions were around. Very unfair to say that, but again, it was a huge match. It was a final of an ICC tournament, India versus New Zealand at Southampton. New Zealand won. Congratulations to them, first of all. I couldn't be happier for them. If India had to lose and I had to pick a team who to that will always be New Zealand. They have been such great ambassadors of the game, such sporting people, and deserved one. Fantastic cricket side. They showed their skills in those conditions. They were phenomenal, and they deserved an ICC trophy. Let's be honest. They have been close. They have been very consistent. They lost the 250 over finals 2015 after such a impressive campaign. They played such a positive brand of cricket. They were so good to see, but at home, but then again went to Australia for the final, lost to Australia. And 2019, it was just so heartbreaking the way they lost it. England were deserving winners. I'll never say anything otherwise about that. But New Zealand, you can only have one winner, and it was unfortunate the way New Zealand lost, super over, boundary rule, and whatever that was. But yeah, they finally have their ICC trophy. Only the second in the history after the 1998 Champions Trophy, or the ICC Knockouts as it was called then. They had also beat India in the final that time, so both their ICC winners medals have come against India. So yeah, congratulations to them, phenomenal team and a well-deserved prime. But yeah, we need to talk about India. That's our team. That's what the focus of this video is. Yeah, so 8 years without an ICC tour now for India. Another ICC knockout loss. I know people are getting frustrated now, and I understand why. It's just been far too long because of the quality of the team we have, the quality of players, the depth of talent we have. Uh, I know I can understand why people are not happy with 8 years without a trophy because we are better than that. We should be winning, and we have been better in tournaments. We have played very consistent cricket. People say that we play well only in bilaterals. That's not true. We have been very consistent in ICC tournaments. We have been there in the semis or the finals, the latter stages on in every tournament. We won in 2013. Since then, 2014, we haven't won a tournament, but we have been there and very close. 2014 T20 World Cup final, 2015 50 over World Cup semi final, 2016 T20 World Cup semi final, 2017 Champions Trophy final, 2019 50 over World Cup final, 2021 Test Championship now again final. We have been there and thereabouts. People call India chokers and all that. Uh, so, see, another thing is that all these seven tournaments that I mentioned have been won by seven different teams. Of course, we won the 2013 one in England, the Champions Trophy. So we won that. 2014 Sri Lanka won. 2015 Australia won. 2016 West Indies won. 2017 Pakistan won. 2019 England won. 2021 New Zealand won. So seven different teams. But none of them have been part of the semis or finals in all seven tournaments except India. So we have been incredibly consistent at ICC tournaments. It's not that we are not doing well at ICC tournaments. We are just failing to get past the finish line. So not getting past the finish line and not doing well in ICC tournaments are two different things. Uh, so my point is that if we are calling India chokers for losing all these semis and all. What about the teams who are not even reaching this stage? Are we really going to say that the losing in the earlier rounds or not getting to the semis and finals better than losing in semis and finals? I think that's a very unfair assertion to make. So look about it. I don't want to say or be very sympathetic to a team because I understand the frustration because the team is better than that, and some of them we have been the better side. Uh, Especially 2017, 2019, those two were very very disappointing because we were certainly better than the two teams we lost to on quality and on how we played in the tournament. But that is sport. That is what it is. But this Test Championship, I think a lot more context is needed than how people have reacted. Again, I'll understand a very different reaction if this happens again in the T20 World Cup in October. That will be a different thing. But we need to understand the difference between a T20 World Cup, a 50 World Cup, and a Test Championship. In a T20 World Cup and 50 over World Cup, it's all about those 30, 40 days. It's all about that tournament. For 2 years or whatever your build up is, however you want to build up, you focus only on that tournament. You'll do everything you want leading up to that tournament. But in the Test Championship, you were not leading up to something. You were the Test Championship wasn't just the lead up to the final. The final was a summit. The Test Championship was the entire 2 years. We played very very consistent cricket to get here, and those all those matches held were equally important. It was not like a ODI or T20 bilateral series. A Test cricket, a bilateral series will never be a like an ODI or T20 bilateral series. Test cricket is different. It is unique, and because the Test Championship has come, we cannot forget all that. But even in the context of the World Test Championship final, all those bilateral series were important because you needed to win them to get here. The World Test Championship was the full 2 years. It was just not about the final. You had to work very hard to get there. India, we were put in a very very difficult situation because ICC midway they changed the rules. It made it from points to percentage one, and we were one of the only teams who played all the 6 series. We played a lot of test matches. Of course, a 4 test match series against Australia, 5 test match series against England. So we had a lot of test matches too. We were one of the few teams who completed all our tours. So it wasn't easy for us to get there. We need to give the team a lot of credit for beating the odds to get there. Of course, that incredible win in Australia. So again, this was a one-off match. You cannot make judgments on a one-off match. It was a reward. This one of my was a reward. You cannot make judgments on that. If you give me again, if you still ask me, I'll rather take that Test series win in Australia and lose this than the vice versa. If you ask me how I'll judge a team, I'll judge them more on 4 Test matches in Australia and the coming 5 Test matches in England rather than just this one match. That is how it is. Uh, does the World Test Championship need to have three match? That will obviously be ideal, but again, it is a final, and one of the best parts about final is jeopardy. Probably one of makes it more exciting. Uh, we lost this time, but probably next time we'll win one off match. Probably we'll play a better side, but conditions will suit us and we'll win. So you cannot just that is sport, and what doesn't work for us today might work for us tomorrow. So I'll still stick with a one-off match, but I'll probably want more leeway for rain. There was one reserve day, and that got us a result, but we were very lucky to get a result because of how India imploded on the last day. Probably ICC need to be more careful with selecting venues. England in June, all the 2013 Champions Trophy, 2017 Champions Trophy, 2019 World Cup, they were severely affected by rain. And now one-off match in England, I don't know. Probably have more reserve days because we know how unstable the English weather is. Probably instead of one, if you have 2 or 3 reserve days, and why can't you have it? In this case, it was easily possible because how free the schedules of two teams were. So yeah, that will be better. But yeah, so we have to look forward now. Yeah, again coming to the choking part of it. Uh, as I said, the conditions favor New Zealand. You have to admit this is not taking credit away from them. This is just giving them credit. They were the better side. They played better than us in those conditions. They were the better side and they won. Uh, just you have to give them credit, and we need to be more sporting about it. We are not entitled to win everything. because our population is more. Again, that is a it's 11 of 11 on the day. Yes, we follow cricket very passionately, but every team has the right to win. We are not entitled to win everything. Um, so yeah, but again, I'll say I am not happy with how people have reacted to this Test Championship loss. This is very different to losing a T20 World Cup, a ODI World Cup semi-final, final. Um, you have to be more give more context to it. You have to take into account how the preparations are, and you have to judge a team over the 2 year cycle. Um, and probably non-COVID times, you could probably have a different view of it again. You could have blamed the Indian team for not having a warm-up game, but quarantine rules, India being a red list country, it made things very hard. We need to be honest about it. Uh, yeah, but again, 2 years India were brilliant. We are a very very good team, especially in Test cricket. ODI T20s, we'll talk about it another day. But Test cricket, we are a good team. We have some weaknesses, and that got exposed. We saw our batting in those conditions, and that's my point. This wasn't a choke; it was just some familiar weaknesses. As I said, the conditions were very similar to New Zealand, and the match went on as a match will go on New Zealand. And this result wasn't any different to what happened in the two Test series against New Zealand. The only series of six we lost in the Test Championship. Very very similar matches, very similar uh, how those matches went. And yeah, New Zealand won. Credit to them. So it wasn't a choke, just some familiar weaknesses. We'll talk about those weaknesses in the build up to the England series because they will again show up in England because yeah, similar conditions and they have been there for a while. But we'll talk about it when the England series comes around. But again, cricket is not just played in England. It's not just about how you do in England or New Zealand. It's about all over the world. And largely in most conditions, we have been very good as a team. Um, we were brilliant. We just lost one series in six. That is phenomenal stuff. As far as Test matches go, we lost two to New Zealand, one to Australia, and in Australia the Adelaide 36 all out, and the first Test match to England. So four Test matches lost over 2 years. Brilliant work. Uh, we we played three away series in the cycle. We won two away series. Teams don't win away these days, but I think England had a very good away record. They also won two away series. But apart from that, I don't think anyone did as well away. So in context, New Zealand won the tournament and the trophy is theirs. And yeah, ultimately people remember who wins. People won't remember how consistent we were. So we need to get rid of this voodoo of losing these knockout. But New Zealand won just uh, one away test match in this 2 year cycle. They played two series just. They just won one away test match. We won two away series. We won four away test matches out of six. We just lost one away test match. So we were brilliant in this cycle. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't our trophy. It didn't happen in the one-off match. Things went against us. We didn't play well enough. New Zealand were brilliant. But I won't overreact to it. That's just my point. And we have our time. I'm very confident about a chance in the next 2 year cycle also, because of how consistent we are as a test team. The same as far as the next cycle goes, we'll have the same group of core players, same group of bowlers, and with the depth is still adding. I won't be surprised if we are in the final in 2023 again, and we'll see how that one goes. So yeah, that's enough for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Bye bye.